Salutations, respected viewers. I'm George from Ireland, and here I am in Limerick at Mount St Lawrence Cemetery. And this is the Republican plot, as in where members of the IRA are interred. And there you see that obviously the Celtic cross here, and the legend is engraved in Irish, and looks like, who have we? It's supposed to be Cuchulainn, because we got the hound with him, and there these wreaths with the tricolour ribbons, but they look like green, white and gold, not green, white and orange, because Republicans don't like to acknowledge that obviously orange is our flag, often calling it green, white and gold. But I remember Gerard Adams saying, our whole philosophy is a peace between orange and green. You could have fooled me. Is that what so many decades of violence is about? If you have no problem with orangism, welcome orange marches. Don't oppose them. So it was yet another flagrant lie from that bigot and oppressor. So here are our oppressors who wreaked havoc in Ireland, who did so much to immiserate us, who are Anglophobic, who are sectarian, were blowing up bridges and burning down houses and murdering people for about a century. And here is Sean South. It's got the name Sean Sabat. Well, Sabat is not his actual name. Never trust someone who can't even tell the truth about his own name. So he's born here in Limerick. He grew up near O'Connor Avenue, not Garryowen as the song says. He was an absolute bigot, completely anti-Semitic, and he was publishing anti-Semitic articles right in the wake of the Second World War. So the toxicity of anti-Semitism should have been completely apparent. It was within the shadow of the Holocaust he was saying all this stuff. And then he was part of FCA. Now forgive me, since I'm no Gaeilgeoir, Fórsa an Coisiunteoir Éadúil, like a local defence force, as in that's the part-time section of the Irish Army. So he was a complete perjurer and a hypocrite, because he rejected the Republic of Ireland, 26 county state, said it was illegitimate, yet he swore an oath to it and served in its army. Anyway, but he was also in the IRA, which was completely against this state, said that it didn't count. Only a 32 county republic would count, and he was a virulent anti-communist. Now his genius way of advancing the cause of anti-communism was by attacking one of the major anti-communist countries in the world, the United Kingdom. So obviously the UK was perhaps the freest country in the world, which had more extensive voting rights than perhaps anywhere else on earth. You didn't have to be a British citizen to vote there. You could be an Irish citizen, you could be a citizen of any Commonwealth country. You wouldn't get that here. If you're a Nigerian who's legally resident in the Republic of Ireland but not a citizen, you're not permitted to vote. So there were Catholic churches in every town. We were free to practice our religion. But anyway, he was an IRA man, and then he crossed the border New Year's Eve 1957, well, New Year's Eve 56, but on New Year's Day 57, to attack the Royal Ulster Constabulary. That was the police in Northern Ireland, and he led an attack on Brookborough police station, which was a calamity for the IRA. So he was a complete klutz, and they parked in the wrong place, and the scouts didn't know the area. The RIC had been tipped off, RUC, sorry, so they opened fire, and the IRA having opened fire on them, both the IRA mines didn't go off, so it was just a cataclysmic. It was farcical. So this little charade ended up him being fatally wounded, and Fergal O'Hanlon, his comrade, also been badly wounded, and the IRA retired, and then they abandoned them in a cow byre. If they'd given first aid to Fergal O'Hanlon, he would have lived, but they decided to save their own skin and leave them in the lurch. They could have surrendered to the RUC, who wouldn't have killed them. I've never heard of any case where the RUC ever killed prisoners, and that was that. So they were abandoned, and in that cow shed, when the RUC came close, they fired a volley at it. Some of the IRA said, oh, that was them finishing them off. Well, no, so far as the RUC knew, there were lots of armed IRA men in that shed, so they had to fire, ideally kill them, if not get their heads down. But the only thing the IRA did well that day is they managed to slip across the border, which is quite a feat when they had lots of RUC officers in pursuit. So 4 of them were wounded, and they were all arrested when they came to the Republic of Ireland. They'd lost all their weapons, so it was a cataclysm. So he was obviously a dreadful IRA leader. but somehow he's lauded as though he's admirable. So he served an evil cause. He was trying to destroy freedom. Northern Ireland, which was very free, and which everyone had the right to vote for Westminster elections, was a bit more restricted for local elections. There was freedom of expression. You could say that you hated the Queen. You could have a political party saying you wanted to leave Northern Ireland, join the Republic of Ireland. Fine. You could contest elections. They sometimes got elected. You could do what you want, go where you want, and on and on and on. So people were very lucky to live up there, one of the richest countries in the world. There was some sectarian discrimination in both directions, but not by law. So in the Republic of Ireland we had less freedom. We didn't have the right to divorce or contraception or loads of things. There's more censorship here. There was a state church. The Catholic Church had a special position in the Constitution at that time. Northern Ireland had no established religion. The Church of Ireland had no official status. So that is Sean South, and his body was brought to Dublin, and then it was received with great circumstance there. The obsequies were performed here in Limerick, I think at Limerick Cathedral. I've seen some of the footage of the procession along Mungret Street, laid to rest here. Tens of thousands of people attended. The Mayor of Limerick greeted his coffin. I'm not sure about the Bishop of Limerick, but that's him. But then the IRA, they wrote a song about it. I can't remember who. Sean South of Garryowen, which is actually bogus as well, because he wasn't from Garryowen, the well-known area of Limerick, as in where the rugby kit comes from, the up and under. But so they've tried to turn this disaster into something to be proud of. But there we are. So here's to the RUC officers who defended freedom, who were serving the community, who were protecting the United Kingdom from this scumbag. So long may he roast. Anyway, so we have the RUC to thank for preserving people's liberty. So that was the end of him, and fortunately they're no more like him. And that conflict that he was so desperate to start, despite any authority, breaking all of St. Augustine's rules of a just war, is over. You know, they weren't wearing uniform, not a legitimate authority, not a state. The Republic of Ireland declared war in the UK, that was one thing, but it wasn't a sovereign state doing so, not carrying arms openly, and on and on and on, not as a last resort, when there are many peaceful means to try and achieve their objectives. Okay, so that is enough from me here in Limerick. I'll switch it off now.